Happy New Year again. I have a feeling 2019 is gonna be an awesome year. Do you get that feeling? I'm just feeling very optimistic about it. Yeah. Now, of course, that it doesn't just happen on its own. You know, having a joyous, love-filled, prosperous year doesn't necessarily fall into our laps. You know, it usually requires something of us. Usually requires us to shift something, maybe envision something larger than we're experiencing now, maybe setting an intention, maybe moving in the direction of that intention. So having an awesome 2019 is really kind of up to us. We're the deciding factor. And I think we got a good start to that last Sunday with our white stone service. You know, that white stone word can really give us a clue to what our soul is telling us it wants us to grow into. So hopefully you all got something to put on that white stone that was, you know, a clue. And now I think we can begin to expand that out a little bit. Expand it and maybe open to the full vision for our lives. That full vision, begin to open to it. Begin the process of bringing that vision into our actual experience. Begin to embrace that full divine potential that we are. And I'm not talking about, you know, the ego mind that might tell us, oh, well, I have got to accomplish these things this year. I got to set these goals, and I got to accomplish. No. I'm talking about what our soul might be telling us we're ready to grow into now. We're ready to move forward into. And why is that important? Why do we want to do that? Because we are the light of the world. We're the light of the world, and it doesn't do us any good, and it doesn't do the world any good to hide our light behind a bush. For those of us on a spiritual path, it's our spiritual mandate to discover what that unique expression of the divine light that we are is. The unique expression of that divine light that we are. And to live that fully, to shine that light fully. It's our spiritual mandate to live fully. And I think sometimes, you know, we don't see the vast potential that is available to us, that's within us, because we view our lives from such a narrow window. You know, this narrow window that is created, you know, in part by the world, by society, that might be saying, oh, you're this type of person. Or, oh, you're this age. Or, oh, you're from this kind of background. So we don't expect much from you. Don't expect much from yourself. And then that narrow window can also be created by our own self-limiting concepts. Our own, you know, the ideas that are usually limiting based on maybe past hurts, past disappointments, past failures, that, you know, after a while we begin to think, gee, maybe an expansive life is not for me. But of course we all have a choice. We have a choice to either cling to those old hurts, those old failures, or we can choose to learn from them, grow from them. You know, that infinite self, the infinite self within us sees our full potential. It sees us, you know, our capacity to shine our light, to shine that infinite light in our own unique individual way. And it sees us embracing that so that we can grow into the fullness of who we truly are. and so that we can make a positive impact in the world. It sees us making a positive impact in the world. You know, we're not here to get. We're not here to see how much we can acquire, how much we can accomplish. We're here to give, right? We're here to shine our light. We are coded for that. There's a passage in the Gospel of Thomas that I love that goes, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. You heard that? And the universe is intentional about this. You know, acorns become oak trees, fruit-bearing trees bear fruit, embryos become babies. It's the nature of the universe to come to fruition, to give of itself, to flourish. It's our nature to come to fruition, to give of ourselves, to flourish. And so when we're not focused on that, when we're not focused on our vision and being pulled by that vision, we're being pulled by the vision of the world, which is a vision of lack and limitation, a vision that is, you know, under the influence of this belief in separation, that we're separate from source, we're separate from each other, we're separate from our good. We're being pulled by and tossed around by the winds of fate or circumstance. We're allowing circumstance to determine our lives. And that's not really living. That's not living. That's how I interpret that passage. So rather than being tossed around by the winds of fate, rather than being pushed by the pain, we're going to be pulled by our vision. We're going to be pulled by our vision. And the first place to start is by opening to that vision, right? Opening to that vision, clarifying that vision. And then when we do that, then we want to set an intention around that. And then begin to move in the direction of that intention. And clarity is really important here. Clarity, a clear vision. If we have some sort of general vague idea that, oh, we want things to be better. I want more happiness. I want to have some sort of sense of purpose. That doesn't generate enough energy to help us bring it about. It's, you know, that vagueness, what is that Paul Hasselbeck says, what happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. Clarity. We want clarity. And that clarity comes from connecting with that inner wisdom within us. You know, creating that connection. Really making that connection so that we can see clearly. And it's kind of like, you know, if you're viewing a distant landscape with a pair of binoculars, and it takes a little while to kind of get your eyes in the right place, you know, and get the lenses in the right place, and you shift them around, you fiddle with the focus bar, you fiddle, you know, making these focus, both of them working together. Takes a little bit of adjustment, but when you do, it becomes clear. And you can see that gorgeous rare bird perched on a, you know, on a branch a half a mile away. It's clear. Well, in a similar way, it takes some intentional effort. Some intentional effort to open to that vision. Some adjustment to align ourselves with that vision and open to it. So we're going to practice that. It comes with practice, right? So I thought we would practice that together today. Let's do it, right? Okay, so everybody get comfortable in your seats. Anything on your lap, put to the side. Begin to take some slow, deep breaths. when it's comfortable, close your eyes. And really feel that breath moving through you, that one life energy flowing through you. Feel that breath moving your awareness from your thinking mind into your heart center. Breathing into that heart center. And feel the love of that infinite spirit within you. Just radiating out from you. And just bask in that love. Just feel yourself basking in that love. Like you're bathing in a pool of divine love. And now imagine that inner wisdom within you awakening from that love. Awakening from that love. And you may see this inner wisdom as a spiritual guide. You may see it as a divine being. You might see it as just a higher version of yourself. You may see it as just light, just energy that you can feel. So feel yourself making a connection with that, opening to it. And directly ask that inner wisdom within you, what is my highest vision? What is my highest vision for my life? Ask it to reveal it to you, either the full picture or maybe just one area of your life that you're ready to open up. And just listen. Listen. And know that it may come in pictures, it may come in words, it may come in symbols, it may come in little fragments or full blown. Try not to judge, just open and receive. And just finish that up because we're going to move on to the next part of this. And that is that we're going to start to generate some energy around this vision. We're going to generate some energy around it, sort of build up a head of steam so that this thing is beginning to take on some reality now. It's just starting to vibrate at a higher level. It's got some manifestation energy around it. You know, things in the universe are beginning to work together to bring this about, and it's building up a head of steam so that it helps us launch ourselves into action. And we're going to do this with an intention statement. And that intention statement is something that will be stated formatted like an affirmation with an I am statement. So let me give you an example. If in my vision I had it come to me that, oh, it's time for me to share my unique skills, helping people be more intuitive, connect with their intuition, for example. And I saw myself in this vision speaking during workshops, but that scares the bejesus out of me, right? So I'm like, no, I don't know, I can't do that. So I might want to set an intention statement that says something like this. I am confident, poised, and centered as I easily and lovingly share of my gifts to help others become intuitive. Something like that. So it's an I am, it's present tense, and it's got some juice to it. You want to put something in there that feels juicy, that gives some excitement to you, that on some level you go, ooh, yeah. So that when you read that, you know, it bubbles up. It gives you some energy around it. And so that it really can begin to bring you into action. And also, we want to have a time frame around this. We want to have a time frame, a due date. So I might add something like, I am presenting 6 successful workshops this year. There's a time frame. There's a due date. And to that, I might add something like, my workshops are highly in demand. Because that, again, that adds juice to it, adds some energy to it. So if anybody wants to give me an example of what maybe a piece of their vision is, and I can help you maybe create an intention statement from that will help present an example for others. Anybody have something that they're willing to share as an intention?
Okay.
Yes? Okay, dear. Come on.
Okay. I want to be like creative
Yes.
in what I do.
Okay.
Okay. Huh?
What is
And I want to feel like enough
Yeah.
or in peace doing it and showing it to the world.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, and do you want
What
to?
I do is I cook vegetarian, vegan, I do aromatherapies, stuff like that. Create.
Yes. It's creative. Okay. So that you have that gift, right?
Yes.
So maybe I share of my abundant gifts creatively, and the universe says yes to me, or something like that. Something, so it's present tense. You're putting the creativity in there. You're putting this idea that it's being received by, you know, there's one thing to share a gift and another thing to have it received, to have the universe to say yes, to have a lot of people go, oh yeah, we want that.
Okay.
What I do is highly in demand is another good one. Highly in demand. I am highly paid, highly in demand as I share my gifts creatively. Maybe that one. Something like that. So you're getting the idea, Barnsley? Do you have one?
I've got one.
Okay.
I am the love, healing power, and peace of God, showing others how to access this through 3 or more full Reiki classes or introductions to Reiki every month.
Okay. I love that. That's complete.
And a global broadcast.
And a global broadcast.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I went, wow!
Was that new? The whole global?
The global broadcast.
I love that. Broadcasting that globally. Okay, one more. Judy?
Mine is more abstract. It's not accomplishing some particular thing.
Uh-huh.
It's a way of being, and my inner wisdom that I got in touch with during that was that I want to allow my inner, this is the first part, to allow my inner angel to nudge me to move in the right direction, to flutter me along down the road. And then the intention statement is, I am my inner angel fluttering in the right direction.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love how you switched that, because you first said I want, and then now that the I am statement, you said I am.
Yeah.
And you are that inner
Yeah.
angel.
Uh-huh.
Say that again.
I am my inner angel fluttering along in the right direction.
I love that. And the words kind of give it some,
I love the fluttering.
the fluttering part of that. Yeah. Okay, good. So, you're getting the idea? Yes? All right, so now the next thing you want to do, this is our intention statement. The next thing we want to do is to take this intention and break it down into doable action steps, right? Break it down into doable action steps and put it on the calendar. Put it on your calendar. Get it on the calendar. So, for example, if I were giving those intuition workshops, I might think, okay, the first step that I could take might be to share my idea with others, to talk to others about it. You never know who you're going to talk to who might point you in the right direction, who might have the right place for you to connect to, right? So you want to keep track of that. Another step might be, to sign up for a how to present like a pro workshop or something like that, to work on your presentation skills, to work on, to get comfortable with that. So, and then that could be broken down into doing the research for it, finding the right facilitator, the right time, and then actually taking the workshop and then follow up. So that can be broken down in the calendar, right? Another one might be to gather some friends together and do this workshop, practice on friends in your living room. Do that whole thing to practice it. So this idea of taking the vision now, this vision, and continuing to focus on that vision and creating an intention statement, breaking it down into doable steps to move us into action. So now you've got the energy of the universe working for you. You are moving into action. All of this works together. And of course, as you're doing this, it will no doubt bring up fear. Because anytime we move forward, anytime we stretch into something that we're not comfortable, anytime we're visiting unfamiliar territory, that gets uncomfortable, right? So, but we're not going to let fear stop us. No. Say, no, I'm not letting fear stop me. No. That's right, because we're going to see fear. Every time we feel that come up, we're going to go, oh, look, I must be growing. I must be spreading my wings. I must be getting closer to realizing my vision. So then fear is an indication that we're on the right track, that we're growing into our vision. So then fear is not the enemy. It becomes our ally, not the enemy anymore. We're not fearing fear. It's our ally. It's an indication that we're moving forward. And so to continue to do this, to continue to stay focused, and to continue to set action steps and move forward and stretch and grow, the best way that to continue to do this is to get some support, is to structure some support to make sure that we're staying on track. And several ways you can do that. You can get an accountability buddy. Somebody that you partner with on a, agreed upon time that you get together and you hold each other accountable. You share your vision with them, you hold each other accountable, right? And, or it could be a group of people, a support group. I've been involved in, women's support group, and I can tell you how much I grew from that experience. When I was in Los Angeles, I had this women's support group. I just flourished in that group. It's really a wonderful dynamic to get a group of people, like-minded people, together and all supporting each other lovingly in that. Working one-on-one with a coach is a good way to do that. So this ensures that we're staying on track, that we're staying focused and moving forward. And you see, all of this works together. We're incorporating all of these ideas together. You can't have one without you can't just go and take action steps, set goals and take action steps, because you're going to be running around, not necessarily getting anywhere, or maybe you get somewhere that you really don't want to be. So you got to have the vision. You got to have that inner, higher divine vision clearly defined. And you can't just have the vision without then beginning to move in the direction of that vision, or it just stays in a dream. It's just a dream. Nice pictures on a vision board. But if I'm not taking any action steps, I'm not moving forward. So we're going to incorporate all of these things to really allow that highest vision within us to begin to unfold for us this year, so that we can have an amazing 2019. We're going to have an amazing 2019, aren't we? Yeah! And so it is.
So it is.